What's going on YouTube? Gary here, gzduels, bringing you guys a pre-recorded duel between my Dark World Exodia deck, or the Forbidden One deck, and my opponent who's playing some Inzektors, apparently. And yeah, so this duel is going to go really fast, so I'm not going to narrate the whole thing, everything that I do. I'm going to just narrate specific places and card choices. So right away you'll see some really interesting new card additions due to 1 day of peace being banned. Well, not banned, like limited to one. At first I thought, the deck wasn't viable anymore. I needed the 1 day of peace, both as a draw engine and a stall engine. And then I realized, I could just put in some Trigodias. Because Trigodia is good because it's Fiend, it's Dark, and it stops OTKs. Three things that I need. I need Fiend, primarily because I could use Gates effect, discard Trigodia if I have to in order to draw a card. It's Dark, so I can use Allure of Darkness. Is awesome. Unfortunately, it's a level 10, so I can't use Trade In, but that's fine. And since I draw into a lot of cards, I have a lot of card advantage. My opponent tries to OTK me, I'll drop like a 3000 Trigodia, and my opponent basically cries. So like right now, he's going to attack with Zemains. I'm going to drop Trigodia in defense mode so that the Zemains would not be able to commit suicide with it and detach one and try to destroy the Trigodia that way. So it's my turn. I did use Reckless Greed, so unfortunately I will not be able to draw in draw phase. So I'm going to use Snow, and I'm going to bounce back Snow for Grapha. And as you can see in my hand, there's another tech card which I use is Card Destruction, but I'll get into the uses of that later. First, I'm going to use Dark World Dealings. I have 2 Dark World Dealings and a Snow. So at this point, I'm going to use Dark World Dealings, discard Snow. And my plan is to discard Snow, use Snow's effect to search for another Snow, and repeat the thing with the second Dark World Dealings, use Snow's effect after that to search for Grapha, and I'm going to use Grapha in conjunction with Trade in order to keep drawing, and hopefully that'll work. And yeah, so I'm going to get another Snow, and I'm going to use Dark World Dealings again, like I said, and I'm going to, I drew into a Brow, but I'm not going to use Brow. I'm going to use Snow's effect, and it's fine to accumulate a lot of Dark World monsters because I have Card Destruction. That's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to accumulate a lot of Dark World monsters, and even if I have some Exodia pieces, it doesn't really matter because I do have Pot of Avarice, and hopefully, that's not going to be too much of a deal since I'm going to discard the pieces and get them back with Pot of Avarice in the same turn. And yeah, so without any other draw engines, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the Trade in, use Monster Reborn, and get back a Snow. And since I do have a Grapha in the graveyard, I'm going to use Grapha's effect and bounce back the Snow to my hand. So I have a Brow, a Snow, and another Snow, and 2 Exodia pieces. I'm going to use Card Destruction. Not only do I draw 5 new cards, I'm going to use Snow, double Snow's effect, and 1 Brow's effect. Brow allows me to draw a card, and Snow allows me to search a gate, and the other Snow is going to allow me to search for another Grapha. I'm going to search for another Grapha because I do have a trade-in set. I'm going to activate trade-in and draw 2 more cards. So yeah, if you guys notice, see, when I have 2 Graphas, 2 level 8s on the field, my extra deck lights up. That's because I'm running Heliopolis in my other build, and some of you may be wondering how often can you get Heliopolis out? The answer is very often. And in fact, if I'm not going for Exodia, I have so much card advantage, I can basically go for Heliopolis and OTK him just on the basis of damage. But Exodia is more fun. I just like Exodia. So I'm going to set both Reckless Greeds. Unfortunately, I didn't draw into any more conjunctional cards. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to use Pot of Avarice, return back the 2 Exodia pieces, and the Brow, and 2 Snow. And then, hopefully, since I did return 3 Dark World monsters, I can draw out some Dark World monsters. But I didn't, so I had to discard Trigodia, which is fine. Trigodia is a Fiend, and I have 7 cards in my hand. I'm thinking maybe I can't finish him off this turn since I use Pot of Duality. Since I can't use Pot of Duality, so I'm just going to pass my turn off to my opponent. So it's my opponent's turn. He doesn't have Hornet. I checked his graveyard, so it's going to be all good. I do have 3 gigantic walls, and he's going to summon Centipede. And at this point, like my opponent really can't do much. I have 9 cards in my deck. I have 2 Reckless Greeds, and I have 3 Gates, and I have 4 pieces of Exodia in my hand. Like, it's really, there's a high possibility that I'm going to draw till the end of my deck in the 3rd turn. So yeah, so my opponent's just going to make his field look kind of prettier with the Acid Golem, I guess. Yeah. So it's my turn. I'm going to use Reckless Greed. Yep, and draw into 2 cards, draw into a Brow, use the Gates effect, banish a Snow, discard Brow. And then Gates effect draws 1, Brow's effect draws another 1. And I'm going to use the Gates effect again, since I drew into another Brow, yay. And I'm going to use Gate, banish Tragodia, and discard Brow, draw another card, and use Brow's effect, draw another card. And since I have 3 cards in my deck, I'm just going to use the Pot of Duality, and I will go for the last piece of Exodia, and I win. Yeah, so that was all done in 3 turns, and even with 1 Day of Peace being limited to 1, I still feel like this deck is viable. I'm going to do more testing, and I'm going to bring you guys deck profiles soon. So this is gzduels, signing out.